Honestly, dude, Buffalo Sabres fans are so stupid. They think just because Ted Nolan won his first game behind the bench that he's the answer. What kind of a stupid fan base makes a judgment that quickly?
I don't think I heard a single Sabres fan say that.
Whatever, moving on. I can't wait for Peter Holland to score 50 goals this year.
What? You serious?
Mind blown. We need ideas.
I'm dumb.
Silly hard. We get to the game, please. Oh, and Brad Stobbits too.
Leafs lose 3-1 to the Buffalo Sabres, but more importantly and more excitingly, the Leafs make a trade. I'll talk a little bit about the game, but the Leafs lost, so not that much. This is my 7th season doing post-game Leafs videos. You've seen me talk about losses plenty. You know what you haven't seen me talk about? The Leafs have traded Jesse Blacker and a 2014 3rd-round pick and 7th-round pick to the Anaheim Ducks in exchange for Peter Holland and Brad Stobbits. We'll do a little on the game first and then a lot about the trade. Being an optimist, it was good seeing David Clarkson get an assist on the Trevor Smith goal, right? And just as importantly, it was nice seeing a Leafs center get a goal. Related, I want JVR out of the center slot yesterday. He's been such a sick winger for the Leafs, they should just keep him that way. Of course, he's been playing that position pretty much out of necessity. JVR, no points in the last 4 games. And a reporter, not sure who it was, asked Carlisle after the game, are you going to keep JVR up there in the first line center slot? And Carlisle got all snippy, well, obviously you think so you tell me what to do, basically. And then he goes, I got nobody else. What do you want me to put, a defenseman up there? Which is funny, because people have actually been suggesting putting Jake Gardner at center because he played a little bit of it in college. In that reporter's defense, that's a fair question to ask, because what do you mean you got nobody else? JVR is a winger. And here's why that's a good question. Are you going to keep James Van Riemsdyk in the top line center slot? Here are your options. Yes, I am. No, I'm gonna put blank here instead. No, there's a trade happening in the next few hours. I'm paid millions of dollars a year to coach a National Hockey League team, and I'm totally out of ideas. Or 5, I guess. Be rude because you're upset that you lost. So don't get mad that a reporter might have implied that you need a personnel change. Your GM did that by making a move. And it was a good move, but we'll talk about it after. And finally, sometimes the universe just doesn't want you to win. JVR's so close to a tying goal, but Christian Ehrhoff does something productive and blocks it. And then to rub a little salt in the wound, gets the empty netter goal. Jonathan Bernier gave the Leafs a chance to win. The Leafs outshot the Sabres. Ryan Miller had a really good night. They lose the game. Do the Leafs win with a healthy lineup? I think probably yes. It was a close enough game, right? You play to win the game, but you're not going to win them all. Not the end of the world. Now for the big trade! First and foremost, Anaheim Ducks fans, you are getting a good player in Jesse Blacker, and in my opinion, a future NHL. The Leafs, specifically Brian Burke, drafted Jesse Blacker in the 2nd round of the 2009 NHL entry draft. That was Burke's first draft as the Leafs GM. Burke, by the way, yesterday I was at a gala event raising money for the Special Olympics, and Brian Burke happened to be there. One of the things in the silent auction was a signed and framed Phil Kessel jersey, and I don't know who ended up winning it, but at one point the lead bid was $1,000 and it was Brian Burke. Yeah, it's pretty funny, but I doubt even if he won that he kept the jersey. He might have just donated it back to them. The point was raising money for the Special Olympics, a very, very worthy cause. Getting back to Jesse Blacker, Memorial Cup champion, 2-time OHL champion with 2 different teams. I think he has good leadership skills. He's got a boomer of a shot. He's a good player. Lost out in a numbers game on the Toronto Maple Leafs. In fact, he's only played 5 games with the Marlies this season. He's been a regular healthy scratch behind guys like Granberg and McWilliam and Percy and Holzer, and the Leafs have a lot of D-men down there. What he needed was a new opportunity, and in a post I wrote yesterday, I suggested that the Leafs trade him because he's got value and he needs to leave. You gotta give him an opportunity. And the Leafs send 3rd and 7th round picks, not a very high cost really. In return, the Leafs get Brad Stobbits, grinder kind of guy, can fight, grinder. Might be good. I don't even know how many games he'll play for the NHL team this year. The Leafs might just have him on the Marlies. Peter Holland, the principal piece of the deal for the Leafs, was a 2009 first-round draft pick of the Anaheim Ducks, and the Leafs now have 3 first-rounders from the 2009 NHL entry draft: Nazem Kadri, Peter Holland, and Carter Ashton. NHL.com has Peter Holland listed at 6'2", 194, so he's a big boy. I wonder about that 194 number, because I'm pretty sure he's more. But weight and height always seems to be different from site to site. Maybe it's right. Here's a key part of this deal for me. The Leafs needed a center, but this trade, I would have liked if the Leafs were completely healthy with Bozak, Boland, and Kadri in the lineup. The Leafs need another center in the system. He's got plenty of promise, and like Blacker, he was kind of behind a numbers game in Anaheim. His OHL numbers were good, his AHL numbers were good. Let's hope in Toronto his NHL numbers are good. And he's a hometown boy, good old Canadian kid from Canada. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing Peter Holland in 2009, right before he was drafted. I'll post the link to that underneath this video. Another thing I'll post a link to is the full breakdown of the trade on theleafsnation.com, and also a video of Peter Holland working on his skating with Barb Underhill. You may recognize that name because she is now the Leafs skating consultant. And most relevant to this very moment, Peter Holland is playing tonight against the Buffalo Sabres. Hockey night in Canada. His first game as a Toronto Maple Leaf. Welcome to the city. Holy crap. Welcome to the jungle. We got a serious lack of centers. We got everything you want except for any centers. Question of the game, what do you think of the trade? That's it for this one because the Leafs play tonight. Let me know what you think. Check out all the links below. Click like on this video. Click subscribe on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Steve Dangle podcast. And mwah, I love you. Getting black to Jesse Blacker. Getting black. What? That's a thing that I just said with my mouth.